Alright, haulers, hello and welcome back to Euro Truck Simulator 2. You might notice that we aren't parked up today. We're actually already on the move, and that's because we have a long trip ahead of us. We are currently heading to pick up a load of fresh herbs heading from here in Kalmar at Agro Nord in Sweden to Cellplan in Sheffield, Great Britain. And that's going to bring us about 19,957 euros. And that will also put us in the UK, which is fantastic. It'll be our first time over there. That'll be about as far east as we can go in terms of, like, countries. Obviously, you can go further inside the country, but... Actually, we're going to go down, make the left down there. Oh, my God. Well, let's forget that happened, please. Oh, gosh. Yeah, So, I should explain, too, why I'm in Kalmar. Couple of things. The first being that I have already tried to record 2.5 hours of Euro Truck Simulator 2, which would have put me ahead by, like, 2 or 3 weeks, which is what I'm trying to do right now, because I'm coming into a really busy time of the year, so I'm trying to get ahead so that there's no risk of missing a video. And I decided I was going to try and knock out some of the World of Trucks achievements, which, if you don't know what World of Trucks is, it's kind of SCS Software's home for all the events and pictures and stuff like that. News too, but most of their news is actually on their blog. I think their blog is more just linked up with World of Trucks. But they have their own set of achievements, and those achievements are things that involve, a certain amount of weight in a certain amount of time, or vice versa. And the one that I was trying to do is called Punctual Perfectionist, which is like, you have to take at least a 300-kilometer journey and you have to arrive there perfect. Nothing wrong with the trailer, no speeding tickets, no accidents, no nothing. And you have to do it in 25 minutes real time, or less. You can't go over that. No matter what I tried to do, I'm guessing it's because the area I was in, I could not manage to do it on time. I mean, the closest I got was literally 27 minutes because every time I tried to attempt it, I barely made it out of where I was before I got hit with an AI, or, they did something stupid, or I did something stupid, which happened a couple times too. I mean, it was rough, and I'll probably put a blooper reel in, not in this video, just because of time, because we're making such a long trip. We have like 800 road kilometers to travel, and then 600 by sea, so we've got a lot more driving. I mean, we usually do about 250 kilometers driving per video, so that tells you kind of how much of a difference that will be. Alright, perfect. But, yeah. So, that was fun. Not really. I was beyond furious by the time I was done with it. It was not a good time. And, so that was part of why I'm here. And the second part of it is that I went to the Mercedes dealership to unlock it. And that way we can pick up a Mercedes here soon. I think that's the next truck on my list because they just released the new Actros tuning pack, which honestly looks awesome. I am super excited for it. But you might notice something else on my dashboard that's lit up orange, and that is the fact that I now have no way to see what's coming. That's great. I guess we're just gonna go. Cross your fingers. Oh, sure enough. We're good. We now have a lift axle, so we're running tandems now instead of just singles. I've got it lifted right now, which is why that light's on. I'm not sure if that light being on is a bad thing or not. I think I was supposed to yield there, but I didn't. That's okay. But that's that. So that's why that light is on. But yeah, so I did a few upgrades to the truck. Now we have tandems so that when we take a heavier trailer, it won't be as big of an issue. And our truck was really struggling with hills, so I decided to get rid of the 12-speed transmission, and we put in an 8-speed transmission with a better gear set so that we have better hill traversal, better traction and stuff going up hills. So that should make a big difference for us while we're driving. So a whole host of stuff that's going on with that. But that's kind of the gist of why I'm here. And like I said, what I'll do is I'll probably end up putting all the bloopers and stuff in the monthly video, the best of the month, because obviously we're going to spend this whole... I mean, it's going to take me probably a good solid hour to get to Great Britain. I mean, usually it takes me an hour to get through the, well, I'd say maybe 25 minutes to get through the 250 kilometers or so, depending on, traffic and stop signs and speed and all that. But hopefully, what I'll do is I'll just throw that stuff in the unreleased footage section of the best of the month, because we won't have time for it this episode. And I'm hoping to do a few trips tonight, get a few episodes knocked out, and that way I can get ahead. And we're not really focusing on any sort of achievements. I need a break from trying to go for those, because those World of Trucks achievements, I mean, it was next to impossible to get them just because of the AI being stupid and just one thing after another going wrong. So we're not even going to worry about that this time. But I have a couple of things I want to talk about. The first one being, I don't know if anyone that follows me is a fan of Rooster Teeth or not, but big news from them. They suddenly laid off, and I say suddenly, it didn't feel quite so sudden to me. They laid off 50 employees from Rooster Teeth, which is kind of heartbreaking because it included some people that I genuinely enjoyed. Andy and stuff like that from Achievement Hunter. But I'm with that whole situation, I was half surprised and half not. I was always taught when it comes to business, if you see people that are higher up starting to leave, then a layoff is coming. And I don't know whether it was just bad timing or not, but, Ashley Burns now, not Ashley Jenkins, she left. I thought, because she had her kid, she now had to focus on her kid. But then Max Krumke left too, which was also disappointing. And I saw those two, I was like, I have a bad feeling about this, and maybe a few days later they announced the layoffs. And half of me is really, really proud of how they handled it. I just watched the beginning of Off Topic for this last one. I didn't watch the whole thing. I kind of watched the intro and was too bummed out to watch the rest of it. I will go back probably when I'm working and listen to the rest of it, but it's kind of a downer because obviously they're all impacted by everything that's happening, so it's kind of sad to watch. But Jeff Ramsey, one of the founding fathers of the company, spoke before the podcast started about, how it's affecting the company and just some of the people that are being kind of nasty about the situation. And I was really proud of him for talking. It's nice to see, because obviously he always acts like he doesn't give a shit. Like, he's really good about putting on his persona in that sense. I mean, it might just be who he is, but it was nice to see. It's nice to see him come out and be. He did the same thing when they had an issue with an advertiser. They advertised erectile dysfunction pills. Whoops. That was delayed by a lot. But they advertised that, and surprisingly to me, a lot of the community came back on them. And I'm guessing because it was probably more of the foreign community, because at least being an American, I'm used to seeing medicine being advertised. But I think people took it the wrong way. Medicine here in the US is really, really hard to get. And so I think they did the right thing by doing that and trying to get that out to people who were struggling with a genuine issue and handling it with respect and stuff like that. So when it comes to Jeff doing his serious speeches, I'm really proud of that. I'm a fan of Matt, Matt Hullum, another one of the founding fathers. I think he's the CEO. Well, I don't know if he's the CEO right now. I mean, he's like top dog. I think he is the CEO. But he released a statement on it, and I have mixed feelings on his statement. Half of me understands it, but half of me, it feels like the same PR type of stuff you hear from most other companies. I mean, I understand them talking good on everything they're doing, but it feels kind of lackluster because you're talking good on all the stuff that's going well, yet you're being forced to lay these people off. And I don't know how I feel about that. I want to say this before I go any further. I totally and utterly support everyone at Rooster Teeth. And if anyone that, got laid off is watching this, I am so sorry. And, you have amazing things ahead of you. I mean, Rooster Teeth is one of the reasons, I should say, I do what I do. I just recently, and I'll throw a little thing in here, this is not meant to be just a promo for my stuff, but I started my own production studio and my own channel and stuff because I was inspired by Monty. You know, I was devastated as a creator when Monty Oum passed, because Monty Oum was the person who single-handedly drove me to push myself into working with the harder software and learning to create these things and finding the passion for it. He always talked about, you know, you never have enough time, you know, and I always, you know, I understood that from him, and sadly that's what came down to it in the end. And his situation is, you know, he just ran out of time, I guess, which was the saddest thing I've ever seen. But, you know, this Rooster Teeth has been through so much, and I honestly, this was not, as much as I say I was somewhat expecting it, I'm quite surprised that all this went down. I'm just disappointed for the company as a whole, and I'm hoping that they can kind of pick up and move through it. But I know I've had to take a little bit of a break from following everyone on Twitter or like watching their videos, just because it doesn't have the same tone for me. It's kind of just sad in a way for me to watch, because I know that, you know, it's like what Jeff said, is there are people that wanted that morning to get up so badly and go to work, and they couldn't. You know, everything they, and chances are a lot of these people, this is what they worked for. I would imagine, you know, Rooster Teeth is one of those companies where they have so many people that want to work there. That is the dream. I mean, I would, if I ever got the opportunity to do anything with Rooster Teeth, I would melt. I would be so, like, I would be so excited. And it really breaks my heart that people that built up all this ended up having to, you know, ended up getting laid off. And I hope that, I wish all the best to the people that got laid off. I wish all the best to the company. I hope that everyone can find some sort of peace with it, including the audience. I'm kind of disappointed in some of the audience. Obviously, it's an outspoken minority, but there is this subset of fans, and I don't know if I would even consider them fans, that just consistently try and say, you know, Rooster Teeth is failing and this and that, and there are things like, you know, there are things that I see them venture into a lot of things. Like, Rooster Teeth has been one of the few companies I see that is consistently trying to push out into new territories. You know, they got into gaming, they released Vicious Circle, and I was thoroughly disappointed with Vicious Circle. It's not my type of game. I understand that I'm not a player PvP or whatever it is. I'm not one of those people. I don't like those kinds of games most of the time, but there was absolutely no appeal to the game for me, and just no substance. And I did try it. I don't own it, but I did try it with a friend, and it's not. Obviously, they made an attempt, regardless of whether it succeeded or not, and I don't know if that even played into what happened and why they laid people off, but the fact that they're going out and even pushing themselves into this it just goes to show how much they're trying to grow as a company and, you know, improve. And so I wanted to cover that real quick and kind of say, you know, best of luck to anyone that was there. Honestly, I hope to see some of these people in other places, or if they start their own thing, like, seriously. And and so, yeah, you know, much love to Rooster Teeth and to everyone there, and, you know, you guys can get through this. But in other happier news, is very, very, very gloomy. A heart-to-heart in the rain and the, you know, driving down the countryside. It's very gloomy. But, you know, moving on, I do want to promo some of my stuff. This is not meant to be on the back of them or something like that. This is just, you know, timing. But, you know, I had a really rough weekend, and somehow found the motivation to get up, and I finally launched Haulage Studios. And if you guys have been following me for a long time, you're going to be confused at the name, because, you know, I have my own, like, family of companies that I'm working with here. You know, I've got Pine Tree Graphic Works, which is specifically for graphics and design and art and stuff like that. And all these are split up under one family, so it's like a family of companies, with the parent company being Northwind's Media Group, so they're kind of the managing part for the high end of things. And then there's these companies underneath it that are there because, you know, if I try to put the graphics division in... Whoops. Don't stop, dude. What are you doing? Go. if I try and put the graphics division under Haulage Studios, I'm not sure how that would work with, like, because when you make a company like that, it has to, like, Rooster Teeth Productions has an art department and stuff, but they don't sell anything from their art department. Their art department is, it feeds anything they need for props or otherwise to their production side. And to sell goods, I think I needed to start it under its own thing, but it also makes more sense just to keep them separate. But anyone that's been around for a while knows that I had started a channel called Longhauler Studios, and as much as I wanted that to be linked with me, I don't think that's the way I want to go about this. Haulage Studios is my production arm of these companies in terms of, cinematics or montages or stuff like that. And I've literally got a list of like 15 different videos that are coming out that are full production, multi-month videos, that I'm working on. And so that's that. Finally got the branding done, got all that uploaded, Twitter and Instagram are updated, YouTube got updated, and then I finally got the video done. Some of these videos I had done, I just didn't have the branding squared away. I wasn't sure what I was doing with it. So I finished the branding and launched my first episode of a series called The Climb. And The Climb is a series of montages based in Rocket League. Excuse me. Based in Rocket League. And basically what the whole premise of it is I saved all the replays of my best moments, even some of my worst, in, as I was ranking through. Because in competitive, and I think I've talked about this before in ATS video, but in Rocket League, you have casual gameplay, so you can just play for fun, but then you have competitive, where you can rank up to a certain rank, bronze, silver, gold, platinum, diamond, champ, and then grand champ, I think. I don't know if that's 100% correct. But I started saving replays of my gameplay because I can take that replay and then go back after and do shots, like montage-type shots in that replay. And the whole purpose of that is I'm putting together these montages so that as I rank up, I'm making one for each rank. So there's going to be a silver one, there's going to be a gold one, there's going to be a platinum one, and hopefully more than that. But that way, not only am I going to be able to look back on my skills as a player in the game, but I'm editing these videos as I learn. So my editing, I can tell you now, I'm already working on the second two, and they're going to be so much different. The first two I had already posted as separate videos on a different channel, on this channel actually, a while back. But these are coming back up, or the gold one is coming back, and then the platinum one is in the process because I'm still platinum, obviously. So I'm working on that stuff right now. But honestly, I'm so excited. But that's the whole premise of it, is it's a way for me to look back and see how far I've come in terms of gameplay and editing. So it's a series to recognize the climb, me climbing my way through the ranks. So I'm very excited about that. I'll put a little, I think if I can, I'll put a card. I don't know if I can because it's on a different channel. I should be able to. But if you haven't already too, go ahead and subscribe to Haulage Studios because there's more coming. Obviously, it might be a couple of weeks, but eventually here. And, fun fact, I also have, and let me make sure I don't miss my turn this time, I also have some stuff for American Truck Simulator, Euro Truck Simulator, the Hunter Call, the Wild, and some other games coming. So, hopefully I'm gonna hit the roads here soon and be able to share more with you guys on that. Obviously, we've got the new cinematic intros for the channel up, which is awesome. And funnily enough, you might notice that in the cinematic intro for Euro Truck, the truck has 2 axles on it. That's because I actually recorded that after I recorded the last episode. So in between that episode and this one is when I recorded that. So you actually got to see what the truck would look like before it was actually used in an episode, which is kind of funny. And I did include another truck in there. I was planning on including a bunch, but just decided to include the one at the end. But that's just a truck from a different save. You're not going to see that in this series for quite a while until I expand out our company. So don't get too excited on that front. But if you guys have other trucks you want me to drive, let me know. I think for sure the next one's going to be an Actros. But we shall see. But I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to hit the road. We're about 20 minutes in, I think. And I still have like 1,100 kilometers to go. So we're going to hit the road, make our way there, and I will see you guys when we get closer to our destination. Alright, and we're about 25 kilometers out. If you'll notice in the time-lapse, when I first got to the UK, I immediately pulled out onto the wrong side of the road and then realized, oh, there's a car in this lane, I shouldn't be here. So that's hilarious. Doesn't help that I'm driving a left-hand side, I'm driving a left-hand side truck. So, that was hilarious. Didn't kill anybody, that's a start. Just gotta keep not doing that. But I did want to cover one more thing this episode, and that's the music I use. So the music you just listened to for the time-lapse. I license all my music from Monstercat, and the reason I do that is because it's the music I already listened to. Monstercat has struck out of the park by licensing music for only $5 an hour compared to the $15 or $30 that I'd had to pay at other sites. An hour. $5 a month, sorry, versus $15 or $30 a month for other places. And I listen to their music and genuinely love it. I think it fits this channel well. It's the music I grew up on. It was literally my childhood, so that's why I do that. But it also, I think it fits more what I'm trying to do here than some of the other sites. You know, Epidemic Sound is great, but it doesn't fit quite the feel of what I want my... Oh, damn it. Thought it was 50, I was going over. It's okay. I think I was going way more than 50 anyways, but it, using music from Monstercat kind of fits the theme of what I want my channel to look like, so that's why I do that. If you don't like it, you don't have to watch my videos, so that kind of solves that problem in and of itself, but yeah, and then, like I said, I will eventually use Epidemic Sound for other things. I'm using them for haulage studios because they offer a much wider variety of music, which is perfect for, you know, a thing like a documentary or some of my cinematic videos that need music that isn't just generic electronic music. But I was beyond excited when Monstercat came out with its licensing program because it is a amazing program, it's super affordable, and it's music I genuinely have been listening to for most of my life, so that's why I do that. And it looks like we have to spin her around, which I think we're going to come out to the outside and come around that way. I think that'll be the easiest way to do this and get this done safely. It is also a turn axle trailer, so I just have to be careful about that. I'm going to come out here. I've got some distance to play with, so that way it's easier to back up. Throw it in reverse. And we shall slowly make our way back, and that's probably going to be it after I drop this off. We'll find us a spot to park. We'll find us a plot to park. And, that's going to do it. That was a heck of a trip. Honestly, though, there's something so calming about driving the UK roads, you know, just the side roads at night. There's something so calming about it. I'm going to drop this, and we'll be right back. Alright, she is dropped. But yeah, like I was saying, there's something that's just so, like, peaceful most of the time. Obviously, oh, I gotta remember, I gotta go across and to the right. I'm so used to the American... Can't actually see here either. And it's not just American. It's, you know... I don't know. Is it a majority of the world that still drives on the right side of the road? I don't know. I don't know that much about that stuff, so let me know if you guys know anything. Turn signal, eventually. There we go. I don't know what it is. I think I need to get a new wheel because the turn signal on my wheel is all messed up. I think eventually, there is someone here on YouTube that does some amazing tutorials on, you know, 3D printing and making your own, you know, add-ons. I think eventually I'm gonna make my own cockpit that has a proper shifter location, a turn signal that's a proper flip signal, so the up and down on the left side of your wheel or however you do it. I don't know how the UK does it. But something like that would be cool. I'm actually gonna move into this lane. There we go. And I do have the lift axle up right now because I had it up for the whole trip. We didn't need it for the weight, but we have it if we need it, which is nice. But yeah, I think eventually I'm going to come through and make my own entire full setup, which will be awesome. And obviously that will be a ways away, but If I'm at a point then when I go to build it where I can do a video series on it, by all means I'm going to. I'm a huge fan of, you know, building and stuff like that. But what I will do is probably this next episode we'll talk about some of that stuff and my background in that. But I'm going to go ahead, we're going to pull into the hotel, and that's going to do it. Turn signal eventually again. Oh, speed bump. Gotta slow down. Oh, what? Excuse me then. Bit of a rough speed bump, just scraped my entire bumper off. Man. Oh yeah, you'll also notice, I don't know, it's been peeking over while I've been driving, but I threw that car in the corner is called an Octane from Rocket League. I thought that was funny that it was in here, so I threw that on the dash, because I don't ever really decorate my trucks, so I figure why not? We'll throw that on there. Kind of a good thing to put there while I'm talking about my videos in that series, so yeah. Well, we're gonna go ahead, we're gonna get parked up here, make sure we don't slam their fence, and yeah. But yeah, that's gonna go ahead and do it for this episode. If you guys enjoyed, you know what to do. Go ahead and leave a like. If you really liked it, you can go ahead and subscribe. If you didn't like it, you know what to do too. And if you liked it, like, better than anything ever before, there is a bell next to that subscribe button you can hit that will notify you every single time I upload. And as always, I will see you next time. Peace.